back, baby.
And we back.
My man's in them.
My mans and them, and they mama and them, they cutting them, all them.
All of them, all of them. You know, I see you came with the jacket made from the stuff that's underneath the carpet. You wearing the
Bro,
the fucking is that a fucking carpet padded
hey,
carpet
hey,
padding
hey.
fucking what's that?
This is from the mountain goat of
That's from your grandmama's couch.
no, bro.
You know?
And this is derived from the Slapperhole tribe. So you keep on fucking with me, slap the shit out your ass.
My man got on the carpet padding cardigan. That's
This shit clean, man. Stop hating on me.
oh my god.
Y'all ain't got nothing like this in Baltimore.
Yeah, well, you're right about that. Oh,
Speaking of
man.
Baltimore, man, one of your Baltimore homies pulled up on me at the gas station, bro. He was like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is? He started talking fast. Why when Baltimore people like trying to ask for something, y'all niggas start talking fast as shit? He was talking regular. He was like, hey, my man. Then he was like, I just need a couple dollars. I'm like, dude, slow down. I'm from Georgia, big fella. You got to slow that shit down a little bit. He came up on me, ran to something. I ain't had no gas. I had this, that, third. Started telling me his whole life story. I said, bro, I got you, big fella. Like, relax. Like, you doing a lot right now. You overstimulating me right now. I was like, bro, I got you, bro. Like, I got you, bro. I'm gonna hook you up, man. Put him some gas, and But the crazy part about it, he was like, he needs some gas. He driving this big ass '95 Yukon. Bitch, yeah, I can see why you ain't got no goddamn gas. Bitch, the gas I'm about to put in, that shit gonna be gone by the time you pull out of the gas station. Like, dude, bro. And it was funny too, cause he knew he had fucked up with it, cause he was like, yeah, I'm trying. I need to get some different. I ain't really know, cause this thing it's a gas guzzler. I'm like, well, I guess you live and you learn. Hindsight is 20/20, big fella. But if you ain't got no money, you definitely don't need to be driving this big ass tank. Yeah, man. Came with chew and all that. I'm like, yeah, Bruce. That's Bruce, homie. I was gonna put him in contact with you. I said my boy got a couple spare bedrooms. You know what I'm
Hey, don't be renting out my the fuck. Don't be renting. Hush. It's just that.
He got a bed and breakfast in there.
Hey, man.
He from Baltimore. Oh man, it's like community.
No.
Serving your community, man.
Look, man, I do that from. Nah, man, shut up. No, I woke up angry today.
You wake up angry every day. Go ahead.
I woke up angry. I don't know why. Like I woke up. I don't remember dreaming about anything. But I woke up with like a strong distaste for British people that like you know the ones that like pronounce th with an f.
Like what?
Like, can I help you with something? Do you need help with something? You need help with something?
What?
Yeah, I don't know why, but like, bro, like, get your THs straight. Like, look, the British Empire used to like rule the world, right? Like, over some spices.
What was some spice?
Like these motherfuckers like went to like just mollywopped every country, and now they're these like they call cookies biscuits and shit, and they fucking called goddamn French fries chips, and they can't pronounce th. Like,
well, hold on, time out. This same energy that you're giving to Brits about their language and their way and their vocabulary.
Yeah.
Do you get that same energy to your fellow Baltimoreans.
So here's my thing, right? The British accent is like synonymous with like a certain prestige, right? Whenever you hear someone talk with a British accent, you think like, oh, they're fancy. You know what I'm saying?
And
Right?
what about when we hear Baltimore?
Hold on, wait.
Because I know what I think. Nigga
Hey
retarded.
man.
Straight retard.
Yo. Oh my
Why
goodness.
the fuck
I
is
know
he,
you ain't.
Why the
fucking
fuck
talking.
is he saying to you? Me.
No, the fucked up part. Did you see them videos about how like the Baltimore accent is just a different version of the British accent?
Oh, I never seen that.
So they like some dude made a video about like saying that they're essentially the same accent, and he pretended to be like a dude from Baltimore going to England, and they were talking to each other, and they sounded the same. And I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but that shit was funny. People from where you're from,
Nah, bro.
no, people from where you from, they don't sound the best.
We sound way better than fucking Baltimore. I
Look,
tell you that much.
You motherfucking Southerners be like, you're down there, Bobby, not a Bobby on the farm, putting the plow, in the banjo. I know you ain't talking.
Hey, hey, man, we just got our own language, but we don't sound fucking retarded.
That's exactly what you sound like. You sound like, bro, y'all sound like y'all were all born with an extra chromosome. Y'all sound like y'all the homies with the extra chromies. That's what y'all are.
Oh shit, I'm weak. Hell no.
Y'all talk like you dove headfirst into the shallow gene pool and hit your head. Goddamn Bobby propane and fucking.
But okay, hold on. But the
corn-fed meal
difference
starch.
between Baltimore and us in the South was specifically, yeah. I mean, there's so many like levels to it. So you got like, yeah, that part that speak like that, but like everybody in Baltimore speak the
No,
same
there's
like
levels to it in Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah.
How come you don't do the cheese?
Well, because one, I didn't spend my whole life in Baltimore. Two, I ain't lived there in 15, 16 years.
So it's kind of like out of your system. If it was
Well,
in there.
Yeah, I don't even know that it ever was. Maybe a little bit. But like, no. Because, yeah, and it's levels to it. And there's like, and like, where are you from in Baltimore? Are you from like East Baltimore, West Baltimore? Or are you from like South Baltimore, like the city? Like, or you're from the fucking meth streets in like Brooklyn Park or Dundalk, and like the only reason they got an accent is because they want people to think they're from Baltimore. But like really they're from Dundalk or Brooklyn Park, or which at first glance may look like Baltimore until if like no one's outside, right? If you're just walking down the streets by themselves, you're like, oh yeah, I must be in Baltimore. But then when Martha comes outside and like, and yeah, nah, you're like not saying that. Like that's where like hookers fight over waffles. Like it's
What?
It's stupid. Like, yeah, it's like Baltimore's like redheaded stepchild. So and Baltimore's huge.
I've never been to Baltimore. I've never actually been.
People don't realize how fucking big Baltimore is. Like,
Yeah.
It's huge.
I've never.
Something like 11 million people in Baltimore. No.
Nah, hell no.
Nah.
Like 11,000 people, maybe.
No.
I'm just playing.
Oh no, I was way off.
How many people?
580,000.
Damn, boy, you was.
I think I was thinking Manhattan.
What?
Oh, way off.
What? Not even close. I feel like it's more people in the Hampton Roads area than fucking Baltimore. And I think there's like almost 1 million people in the Hampton Roads area.
Wait a second. The population of the entire Washington-Baltimore combined statistical area as of the 2020 census was 9,973,000.
So is it 9 million or 500,000? That's a big fucking difference.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Honestly, it don't even really fucking matter because
I think it's just the like the Baltimore Washington area, like the whole DMV up there. Like that's what I think it is.
So yeah, that's skewed.
Yeah, because it's only 6 million people in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Baltimore is a lot bigger than people realize.
Yeah,
for sure. And then you got Baltimore County.
I need to take a trip up to Baltimore to experience that, I guess.
Yeah.
I ain't never been there, man. I feel like I just need to at least do like a drive through. You know what I'm saying?
Get a chicken box.
It's like, nah, I don't want to be here. All right. When look my window. Yeah. I just gotta go because I feel like certain places like, for instance, Chicago. Like, I love Chicago. I think Chicago is dope. But a lot of people that's never been to Chicago, they only have like one view of Chicago. I feel like to actually get your own opinion or perception of it, you actually gotta go. Like, every city has its bad areas and places you probably shouldn't take your ass. And every city has areas that's like run down or a shithole. But like, if you actually go there and figure out, like Chicago, there's a like I would.
Let's hit a Ravens game this year.
Only if y'all have Lamar. If y'all ain't got Lamar, I don't want to see that. That's gonna be terrible, man. That'd be like the
Okay, maybe we'll go to Orioles game.
that'd be like the first couple years after Mike left.
Yeah.
Atlanta. That was just, it wasn't fun. It was depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully y'all can get a deal done with him, because he's one in a lifetime. I think he's special.
I was there that night, Thursday night football against the Jets, where he broke Mike Vick's rushing record. That shit was nasty. I was 5 or 8 rows on the sideline, like right behind where Lamar was sitting on the bench. And the Ravens Stadium at night, they did this thing where like they basically tied all the stadium lights to one switch.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever the Ravens score at night, all the fucking lights go out.
Oh yeah.
And then like they have the augmented reality Raven that flies around the fucking stadium and like lands on the uprights and screen. Is fucking crazy. It's crazy. It's a dope experience.
I bet. I've seen videos of.
Then they found a dead body inside the porta potty outside the stadium.
Oh my goodness. Anyways,
Talk about a shitty way to go out.
I can imagine being I can imagine being Lamar trying to negotiate a $100+ million contract himself. Like what he's 24.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine. Like, first of all, it would be hard for me to turn down 130-some million guaranteed in pursuit of, say, 160 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a lot.
Well, I'm pretty sure they offered like 180 guaranteed, and I think he either wants 200 or 250 guaranteed.
Which I think is just insane.
I mean, it's all because of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but that's like that was such a like Deshaun Watson. There's no way, shape, or form that Deshaun Watson got 250 million guaranteed. No way. No way. And at some point, not common sense, because common sense ain't so fucking common, but
yeah, it is.
Some sense gotta kick in. Like, bruh, yeah, he got that, but that's outrageous. That's like, goddamn, like there has to be some like leeway on both sides of it, bro. Like, fuck. Like I think asking for 250 is because like if Baltimore give Lamar 250, who else gonna get paid? How is she gonna get other weapons? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think the team has to continue to progress and add new pieces because if not, then teams get stagnant. Teams are like become the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which won a Super Bowl, but then since then haven't really been up to par because they really haven't added new energy to the team. I think that's why Kansas City has been able to be so good because they've added new energy. Like yeah, they lost Tyreek Hill, but they gained Tony, Demarius Tony, or whatever his name is. Tony, nigga with no eyebrows like a fucking dolphin. You ever noticed that in the interview? The motherfucker
I don't even know
eyebrows,
what you're
man.
talking about. I don't be in sports like that. Like I only care about the Ravens.
Well, you see that motherfucker?
I'm gonna know. Yeah.
He's like a, and he be having his grills in. And he always like smiling and shit. Look scary as fuck. He good though. That boy be balling like a fucking dolphin. Kind of like somebody else we knew back in the day.
That man shit look like a solar panel.
But that's another example of a person that you like a dolphin, but be acting like a straight bitch.
Yeah.
Like you be trying to act hard and be
I never seen him try to act
man,
hard.
nah, that nigga he be trying to act hard. He be trying to act hard, be trying to bully people and shit. Act like he better than people. Bitch, you a fucking dolphin. Shut your ass up. Right. That's another. Oh man, don't even get me started. How you been, bro? Like,
I told you, man. I woke up angry. I'm good. I'm good.
you gonna talk to your therapist about it?
No, it's not. It wasn't like a real anger.
No, that's real. I felt that in your voice.
Nah, that's like one. That's a one. Not maybe not even a one. Maybe like a 0.5. I did so. She did give me this interesting perspective. Like I was telling her something that like angered me, and like I know no matter what lens you observe it through, I know I was right. Like I know I was like the situation was wrong and I was right and I had a right to be angry, right? Like so in my process of explaining how angry I was like, yeah, it shouldn't have been like that. It should be like this. She's like, nah, that's wrong. I'm like, what? Like she goes, you can't say it shouldn't be like that because then you like take the power away. And I was like, nah, I could definitely say it shouldn't be like that because it shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? But the point she was making is if you look at everything that led up to what made you angry, does it make sense that it happened? Looking at everything that led up to it, like the culture that was built around, etc. Like things that got a pass in the past, and she was right. Like if I look at everything that led up to the situation,
it should have ended the way
the way it happened
right.
is how it should have happened.
Right.
So, it was a very interesting perspective to like say, like even though like morally, right, logically, it shouldn't have happened. Like no, it should have happened because of all the things. Because if you say it shouldn't have happened, now you're taking away everything that caused it, and you can't attack the cause. So like choosing your words is like important. And I was like arguing with her. I was like, "The fuck you mean it should have happened? Like no, it should. It should not be like this." She goes,
Right.
"Well, if you take into account everything that led up to it." Well, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, you're right. You're right. But yeah, I also learned that I've accomplished a lot of things fueled by like spite, hate, and discontent. Like a lot of like anger is a useful emotion for me. Cause like if I'm just happy, like I'm just like good, then like what is there to change? There's this paradox. It's like the person who is getting who's in a job that they're not really happy with, but it pays a decent amount. It's got good benefits, right? They're secure, right? They don't worry about losing it. That person is worse off than the person that is working the job that they hate, that doesn't pay much and doesn't have good benefits.
Yeah.
The person with the worst job is in a better place because it's bad enough that they'll seek change.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so sometimes things need to be bad enough for you to. It's like if I have to travel a mile, anything up to a mile, I'm walking. Anything past a mile, I'll drive. All right, so if I go 1 mile in 1 foot, I'll get there so much faster than if it was a mile. So like the idea is stop waiting for things, stop putting these borders and drawing arbitrary lines on when you're going to take action.
Mm-hmm.
If you want something to be better, or if something could be better, then fucking take the action. Don't wait for it to get better. Like if you're in a bad relationship, right? And well, pussy's good. She fucking complain all the time, right? And she don't make no sense when she talk, right? Or like the women out there, like, yeah, he doesn't beat me, so that's good. But you know, maybe he's emotionally abusive, but I've had worse. Well, no, get the fuck out of that because you can get better. You know what I mean?
You know what the tricky part about it is. So there's a couple layers to it because we kind of talked about this off camera last week about that exactly what you said. Like,
We talked about broccoli last week.
no, I said off camera.
Oh,
I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about with broccoli.
the vegetable.
Oh man, just motherfucker. I was on my off camera how we was talking about like that's what it makes sense when you say anger is something that fuels you because like we was talking about like when you're happy, bro, it's a good and dangerous place to be because it breeds content. It breeds like, shit, man, I pretty much got everything. Like, what the fuck I need to be striving for?
Yeah.
But to the other point of the reason why a lot of people struggle with what you're talking about of battling that being optimistic portion of it or being grateful for, like, so use the example of like a job, like, yeah, it may not be the job that you want, but like, oh, let me be grateful that I even have a job, or let me be, you know what I'm saying? It's a fine line that a lot of people, and including myself, are trying to figure out how to navigate of being grateful for the position that you are in and being grateful for how much better this current position is than the last 20 positions that you were in, but still understanding that it's not my final destination. I need to still keep working towards my final destination.
So for me, that's just I don't have gratitude for the position I'm in. I have gratitude for the position I'm in on the path that I'm on. I'm grateful for my journey and where it's taken me thus far, right? Because the journey doesn't end,
Right.
right? So I'm not grateful for the BP gas station. I'm grateful that Google Maps, took me past this place so I could fill up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like grateful for the climb. I don't care where the summit is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think the answer is having gratitude for the path, not the place.
Yeah.
Because the place is just a snapshot in time of the path that
Right.
you're on.
Right.
It's not like this house is not permanent for me. It's not where
Right.
I'm going to lay my eggs or rest my head. This is just for now. Same with everything. And then you'll notice it because it's like 2 years ago. Think of something that you have now. It could be something physical. It could be something mental. It could be like a mental piece that you have. It could be a car or something in your house that you didn't have 2 years ago, right? Did you expect to have what you have now 2 years ago? Like in your head, you may have,
no.
you know what I'm saying?
Hell no.
And that's just 2 years,
Right.
right? And you didn't like it didn't 2 years ago. That's like why I'm not 100% on board with like speaking it into the universe for like specific things.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you would have told me in 2016 that I'd have a fucking brand new house and a Benz,
Mm-hmm.
brand new Benz, and all the shit that I have, the where I'm at in my career, where I'm at in life, where I'm at in my relationships, like I would say relationships were probably a given, right? Because I just know how solid the people around me
Yeah.
are, right? But even then that's not 100% true because you meet new people. I would have never thought 6 years ago I'd be where I am today.
Yeah.
I would have never thought I'd have what I
Right.
knew the direction I was headed.
Right. I knew that's what I was about to say. I knew that I was gonna continue to go up. I didn't think that I was gonna be in a bad way or something like
Yeah.
that. But I definitely hell no, not 2 years ago, not five shit, maybe not even 10 years ago. Like,
Well, I think the more recent, the more potent it is because like
but that's
how
but
much.
I'm saying I'm even thinking like even 10 years ago, like I is that crazy for me? It's like I wouldn't like
Cleaner.
if you would have told me, hey, in 10 years or but like you say, yeah, it's more potent in the 2 years.
Yeah, because like
Because 2 years
look
was what, like around COVID time.
yeah.
It's like
No, it's COVID was 2020. That's when
shit.
it started.
But yeah, no, not from a
You see, what
especially and not even from a monetary from a materialistic. I'm talking about even like when you talk about how I am as a person.
yeah.
Like if you told me, Twan, in 2 years you're gonna be significantly less of an asshole. Man, get the fuck out of here.
I would have told you. I never thought you were an asshole.
Well, we know you didn't, but I had
And here's the crazy part.
I
Like,
had I had a lot of asshole tendencies in the sense of yeah, it's hard to explain.
I think you like putting the word asshole label. I think you like putting the label of asshole on the. I know the tendencies you're talking about.
Well, I mean, people. I'm not placing that on myself. I'm basing it upon the people that I have around me that tell me like, "Tony, you kind of asshole," or that's what I'm saying. Like,
I've criticized you before. I've never used the word asshole.
well, that's because you're an asshole or have asshole ways.
I don't believe that to be true either. Um, I don't believe that to be true at all. I think you take the asshole label and put it on things that are just dumbass, like dumbass decisions you've made.
I don't think it's a dumbass decision. I think it was a decision that at that moment that I thought was right for me, or I thought that was right for that moment, and I mean that's what it is. I think a dumbass decision is a decision that I regret, and I don't think I can't remember the last time I made a decision that I actually regret. I stand by every decision I've ever made up until this point in my life. Because at the end of the day, every decision that I've made, I've learned something from it. I've learned something from it as far as like myself. I've learned something from like the people around me, how they respond to it. Like so I don't and especially like I said, at that moment and in that point in time in life, that was a fucking right decision. I felt good about that goddamn decision.
It doesn't mean it was the right decision. But
I didn't,
you,
but
you
I
can
didn't. I
be
didn't. I
you
said,
can be grateful for the lessons learned. You can.
hell no, bro. That's the right decision. If you learn, if you gain something from, if
If I murder a child, I'm going to learn about how the justice system works. Doesn't mean I'm not going to regret it. You see what I'm saying?
but
Like,
it was the right. It was if it made that decision. You decided to murder a child. I may not fuck with. Like that's, but that was the right decision for you.
nah.
That was
No, because
you
by
did.
by that definition, there is no such thing as a wrong decision. Therefore, there is nothing anyone should ever do that they could ever regret.
No, I think the wrong decision is determined by you. So like for instance, you buying a crib. if you make that decision, you feel good about the decision. It may not play out in your head how you thought it would, but you still at that moment it was a decision for you. You felt good in that moment. It got the job done as far as what you needed at that moment, as far as space, location, whatever. That was the right decision. Even if I don't agree with it, or even if Joe Blow or your realtor thought like, oh no, that was a terrible area to fucking buy a house in, like, you know what I'm saying? I think wrong and right decisions is based upon you as an individual. You determine that.
Yeah, see, like I disagree wholeheartedly. Like when I was like 20 years old, I bought I financed like electronics, like a TV and all this stuff, right? And it was like a 27% interest rate because I have no credit, right? And in the moment, I got everything I needed and wanted, right? But long term, like looking back on it, I would have much rather waited a few months, set aside the money, paid for it up front, not financed it, and saved all that money long term. It would have been a better decision. So
But
like you can just because
but this is the thing though. This is the thing, right?
sometimes the whether or not something is the right decision isn't revealed until way after you make the decision.
But this is the thing. This is a part of it too, which is what I hold to. Okay, yeah, you made that decision, right? And now in your later time, where you're better off, yeah, you would do this, and this. But it's not. There's nothing that says, oh, if you would have made that decision this way, you would be better off than you are now. You ended up the way you ended up. You still good. You still up. You still, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I say it's I don't see a decision as a bad decision, because especially if you still continue to trend up, like, there's nothing that says if you would have not have financed, or that your monetary stance right now will be much better than it is, cause you got bread, you got, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, how the fuck was that a bad decision?
Cause
That wasn't a bad decision. It was just a decision along the path to you still going up.
nah.
And you still learning the lesson. And you now having that foresight. Okay, boom. Back then, if I know what I know now, if I know what I have now, I would have done it this way. But you weren't in the position that you are now, which is still 10 times better than you were at that moment. So it's like, how the fuck was
Yeah,
that a
but
bad decision?
that mindset absolves you of all accountability. Like when I got locked up and I went a year without a fucking license and my career stalled, and it's like I'm still up, right? I still made it through, like I'm good, but like where the fuck could I be if I didn't have to hit that year long? So like
Nah, because at the same time, it could also be.
I look at
It could also be where could you also, if that wouldn't have happened, what else could have happened? Like, if you didn't learn that hard lesson in that way, like,
I didn't learn
it's
anything on that because
what?
no,
Man, hell no, bruh. Fuck no. That's bullshit.
because before I did it, I knew how stupid it was.
No, but you didn't. But it's like one of them things. It's like you knew. It's like knowing, bro. It's nah, bro. I hold a lot of value in learning a lesson. Like, it's like knowing that something hot and that you could get burnt, and actually burning your fucking hand is two completely different things.
I
Because
agree.
now, because with that situation you talking about, now you know the repercussion that can come from um getting a case like that. So now you do everything. Like, I've never seen someone so persistent and not making that same or anything, a decision like that. And also, you make me better, and because I've never had to go through that, but because I got you that have been there, and that know how bad that shit can get, you impress that on me. You project that on me. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do. But here's the thing. I think that I can, like,
so that shit,
it's
nah,
enough.
hell no.
It's enough people. It's enough people before me that have touched the stove. There's enough people before me that have touched the stove that I could have taken a lesson like you took, right? So you got that.
because we together we if
But I know people that have made the same decision.
no, bro, you know them. That's
Nah,
you know them, but they not with you in that moment. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. I know people that have it's a difference between knowing a motherfucker, but then in that moment you having a motherfucker that been in that moment already. Like, bitch, I already seen how this can play out.
Yeah.
So I'm about to save you and me. So
Yeah.
now you know what I'm saying. But if you never would have went through that, it's like it's almost one of them things out of mind, out of sight. If yeah, I know how that, but I ain't ever.
My problem
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but if had I been wiser and more disciplined, like I look at where I'm at,
mhm,
and I think it's shocking almost where I'm at given what I've gone through and what I've dealt with, especially when we're talking about self-imposed roadblocks,
right.
right? And I'm still on a trajectory that I'm happy
Right.
with. But my thing is like, where could I be? That's
Man, I don't.
and I think by saying because by your logic you're saying there's no such thing as a bad decision.
No, I said for me.
Yeah.
For me, I haven't made any bad decisions.
With that logic, you're saying there's no such thing. If everybody were to apply that logic that you have, if the whole world applied that logic, then there's no such thing as a bad decision.
Okay.
And I think that's garbage.
That not saying not
that's
that,
like everybody gets a trophy.
I'm not saying no, because okay, this also another layer to it for me. It's like one of those things, bro. It's like at a certain point, I can't let you determine what's good for me.
Sure.
I can't let you determine what makes me happy.
Yeah.
So it's like at a certain point when you making decisions, what are you leaning on? Because at the end of the day, it's only you going through that life. It's only you walking down that path.
Yeah.
So if I look at a situation and evaluate a situation and be like, all right, this is the best decision for me, I stand on that. I stand on that whether the shit end up like I wanted to, whether the shit end up like I didn't want it to, or I didn't expect it to. Like I stand on that I made.
You can stand on a decision. You can stand on a decision and own that decision, and and you can even hold true no matter the outcome. You could still say in that moment it was based off of all the available data. That was the best decision for me to make.
Right.
You can do that, and also say that despite my feelings and me holding true to that, it was still the wrong decision.
Man, hell no.
It's like
you lose me when you go to that.
Like if you go back to like 2008, right? And you can either invest in MySpace or Facebook, and you look at all the data. Well, MySpace is more popular, so I'm going to put my money in MySpace.
Okay. So it wasn't. So I wouldn't use wrong decisions. There were better decisions that could have been made.
So my thing is.
So that's not that just because there's better, that doesn't mean it's wrong.
To me, it does.
Hell no. So time out.
It depends. It could be. There could be a decision that's better. There could be a decision that's worse, and both of them could be the right decision. But what's the net outcome, right? Like if I put money into something and I make a 15% return, right? And I could have put money into something and made a 25% return, right?
You still up.
Still exactly. But if I put money into something and I lose it all, and I could have put something and doubled it. Like if I'm still
you still up because
not if I lose it all.
You gain knowledge, bro. That's the thing.
But I would have had that knowledge whether I put the money in there or not, because I would have watched the shit tank.
Nah, bro, it's a lot, bro. There's a lot of motherfuckers out here that aren't up as far as they could have been because all they have done is quote unquote win. I feel like bro. Think about it. Think about everybody that you know. Think about everybody that you know, and that's doing it. A lot of motherfuckers is doing it because they learned some lessons. Some way, it may not be like the worst lesson of like catching a case and going to jail or some crazy shit like that. But a motherfucker, it's something, bro. It's a lot of value in a motherfucker bumping their head. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what.
I agree.
There's some value in a motherfucker taking an L. I don't even call it. I can't even say taking an L, but having some shit end up in the way that they didn't expect it to end up. I say it like that
I agree.
because that, bro, and that shit is. I think that shit is invaluable. I think for
Well,
the most part,
then go through life and just make a bunch of horrible decisions.
no, it's not horrible decision, bro. That's what I'm saying. You looking at that as from a like I'm not saying like people need to go through and just make a bunch of decisions. I'm a person like that. I'm like I'd rather learn from you than in a lot of instances than make a mistake myself, the quote unquote mistake. But there's value in, like I said, there's value in making a decision that you evaluate and that you think that is the right decision for you at that moment, and that shit not ended up like you think it should. That don't mean you took an L. That don't mean you made the wrong decision. That don't mean you should regret that decision. That just means okay, boom, damn, all right, that didn't end up like I thought it would. I'm still up because I gained knowledge. Um, if something presents itself that's kind of like that again, I know okay, probably shouldn't do that because I remember how it felt the last time I made that type of decision. Maybe I need to go over here, or maybe no, I still need to be I still need to stay persistent and consistent with this. Let me keep, you know what I'm saying, going on this path, but tweak this a little bit. Or if I see somebody else like, hey, little homie, you probably don't might not want to do that because this you can be a better teacher because you know how I feel. That's like a motherfucker trying to teach me how to play basketball, but bitch ain't never picked up a basketball before. That's like somebody trying to teach me how to be married when they ain't never been married.
Or maybe would you
Like get the
rather
fuck out of here.
would you
Bro.
rather learn how to navigate a marriage from the guy that's been married for 20 years or from the guy that's been in 5 marriages
I
in
think
20
both.
years?
I think there's value in both.
There is.
There's the value.
There is.
Because the motherfucker that's been in 5 marriages will tell you
What not to do. Facts.
The motherfucker in
Yeah.
20 years will also tell you what not to do, but also what to do.
Exactly.
So it's like there's value in both. They're both valuable teachers.
I am not denying the value.
But if I'm trying to learn what not to do, I'm going to the motherfucker that's been in 5. Bitch,
Yeah.
what did you do? So I have to do that shit. Or,
So
you know what I'm saying?
I hear you, and I'm not denying the value,
Mhm.
right? But by your logic, there's no such thing as an L. And
Nah,
my thing
bro.
is,
Ain't no L's, bro.
No, I took plenty of L's.
Yeah, there's L's. It's called lessons.
Yeah, that's fair. I've taken losses. All right, I have taken losses that have been a consequence of my own poor decision making.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I've taken losses. I've learned lessons from them. Right, I've gotten knowledge. There has been value in all of them. 100%. It's still a loss, and I can't subscribe to the ideology that like no matter what everything's a win. Like I can't. That sounds corny to me. Like if everything's a win, what's the purpose of anything? There's no risk.
When you say it like that, hell yeah, that shit sound corny. But also when you think of it like that, it gives you the ability to when some shit really don't work out like you expect it to bounce back. Because bro, a lot of times like what makes the difference between me and you and a motherfucker that didn't bounce back was because we decided to look at the situation different. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, some people like you that have to look at it as like a man, I fucked up and beat themselves down to get back up. I can't do that shit. If I beat myself down and think about the negative, I'm gonna fucking stay down. So if I get down or some shit end up like I didn't, I gotta look at it from the positive and like how I can turn this shit, how I can make this shit shake, like how I can flip this.
You can.
That's how I got. That's just how my personality. I ain't with that beating myself down bullshit.
I don't gotta beat myself down. I could say I took an L, right? This is what I learned from it, right? Taking that knowledge, moving forward. This is how I'm gonna move from now on to try and avoid that, right? This is the knowledge that I'm gonna bestow upon someone else, give an opportunity to try and prevent them from taking the same L. But I have to call it an L because if like me, I know how complacent I get when I'm comfortable, right? And if everything's a W, then what am I working towards? Like, so like there's got to be like there's where's the value in sunshine without the rain? Where's the value in the wins if there are no losses? Like
Yeah.
how can you truly value winning? Like anyone can value winning because it feels good. It's a good thing, right? But how can you get more value from winning if you have some L's? If you've taken L's and you know what it's like to not win, then winning feels that much sweeter. And you don't have to live in the L. You don't have to bask in it. You don't have to feel sorry for yourself. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. But you can acknowledge it. Say, okay, this is what put me in that position. This is some decisions I could have made differently. But at least now I know A, B, and C. So let's keep it moving. And you can do that. Doesn't change the fact that it's an L. Doesn't change the fact that it was a poor decision.
And part, but also for me too, part of it is like there's a huge section of like maintaining confidence and like I said, standing on what decision you make. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if I don't stand on a decision that I make and like my ability to evaluate a scenario and a situation, then I'm losing confidence in myself. And I think that's like a big portion of that a lot of people are missing is having that self confidence and that self assurance and like I said, just standing on what you believe in, standing on a decision that you make, and just like you know what I'm saying, like
100%.
So I think that's another big part of me of why I say, nah, bro, it ain't. Because if I made the decision, then obviously I thought through the situation enough to feel confident making that decision. Like, because I'm also not a person that just do shit off a whim either.
Sure.
So it's like that. If I didn't do that shit off a whim, that shit was a bad decision.
I I
My decision.
I think the confidence is huge.
My decision might have been a bad decision. Might have not worked out in your favor, but that shit worked out in my favor.
So I think
so that's another part. That's another portion.
Your confidence.
I'm selfish.
Your self confidence is frail if you cannot acknowledge an L. Because if your self confidence, hold on, because it's in acknowledging those L's that builds that strong foundation for your self confidence. Because if your like me, my self confidence, I can look at something and be like, yeah, I made a bad decision. It's an L. It is like it was the wrong thing to do. If I could go back and do it differently, I would. I can still stand on the decision. I can still own up to it. I can still say it was my ability to make that decision. I'm the one that made it. But then moving forward, I can say, yeah, I did fuck that up, and I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna be up.
Fuck no.
I'm still gonna be up.
Because look, if you go back, this thing though.
It's like a motherfucker. Like if you are arguing with somebody who can never admit when they're wrong, right? You're not gonna take when they say they're sure about something. You're not gonna take it that seriously because they're sure about everything. Right.
Yeah.
But if you have a bunch of conversations with somebody and you've noticed that they have a tendency to be like, oh, you know what? I never thought of it like that. I see what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And then when they are confident in something, you'll be like, oh, he's probably got something here, right? But if that person is no, I'm 100% certain of everything at all times, well then his words aren't going to hold as much value because you've never heard him admit when he's wrong.
I agree,
right?
But that's not what we're talking about.
But so the same holds true with yourself and like your internal dialogue, like
hell no.
If you so. You're telling me that your self-confidence is so fragile that if you were to admit to taking an L and making a poor decision to yourself, then you wouldn't be able to bounce back to that mentally.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when I look at myself in the mirror, right, every day, and I see the man that's standing in front of me, looking back at me, and where he's at, what he's accomplished, and what he's continued to accomplish. I wouldn't change shit that got me to this point because I love where I'm at. Like I love the man that's in all the shit that I did and the decision that I made and the quote unquote L's that you say I took has made me the man and I don't think I'm the man that I am today if none of that shit happens. If the motherfuckers that I met and bumped head with and you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. What I'm saying is like I truly am. Which we talked about this last week, bro. It's like when you step back and you just alluded to like, motherfucker tell you 2 years you'll be like, bro, when you step back and look at it from bird's eye view, like we up. So it's like I wouldn't want to change anything because I don't think I'm the man that I am without those quote unquote L's.
Right. So I look in the mirror and I feel the same way about what's looking back at me. And I have and part of that pride and happiness comes from knowing that I'm this, despite even though I had to go through that, even though I made those poor decisions, even though I took those L's, I'm still this, right? So that's where part of the pride comes from. So back to the bird's eye view thing.
Right.
If we were to have this conversation 2 years ago, okay, right, and you were in the mirror and you're talking, you're saying how much you love yourself, all that's good,
right,
and I'd applaud it,
right,
right. But obviously, remember, we're 2 years ago right now.
Right.
Obviously, you could be better. Because when you look at today, you're better off than you were 2 years ago, right? So you got obviously be better. Therefore, the capacity for improvement is always there no matter how good you are. There's something you can always get better at. You can always move up because otherwise you're just complacent and sitting in the same space.
Right.
So, with that said, I can be proud of who I am in the face of all the shit that I went through, in the face of all the L's that I have, and it's important to look at those L's and understand that, no, I did make bad decisions, and had I made different decisions in those spaces, it's possible I could be up even more than what I am right now. And I know that's possible because in a 2-year time span, look how much improvement I've made. Look how much I'm up just in a 2-year time span. Who knows what the next 2 years has for me, right? So unless you are the epitome of what you could ever be and there's zero room for improvement in your life in any aspect, unless that's the case, which is not the case for anybody, right? Then you can still say that I can do better, I can be better, I want to improve. And to do that, you have to recognize where your poor decision. Now you can still value the lessons you learned.
Okay, hold on. This is the portion. This is the portion where I think we having a major disconnect. Okay. Going back to a major situation for you was the case. That lesson, the lesson you learned from having that, doesn't just translate to just that situation itself or the repercussion of doing that. There's so many other things that you have applied that to in your life. Do you really believe that if that decision hadn't been made and you hadn't gone through that situation, that those lessons that you've been able to apply that situation to, and that knowledge that you've been able to gain from like just knowing how serious and how much you should seize the day and how you should take advantage of the opportunity that you got and how shit really can go south for you, do you really think you would have gained that knowledge and had that seriousness to all other aspects of life without that situation?
I wouldn't have had that exact brand of knowledge, but I would absolutely, like, I didn't learn any new lessons there. Like, I've been down before. You know what I'm saying? Like I've taken L's before. I've made bad decisions before that. Right? I've had to suffer serious consequences as a result of poor decision making prior to that. Right? I made poor decisions after that. So I'm not denying any value, right? Because there's despite all that, there was still value in that specific brand of lesson I learned from that specific action, right? There's still value there, but I can say, it's like put in like if you're the head coach of a football team, your backup quarterback never played, right? Your starter quarterback gets injured, so now your backup quarterback's got to play. You lose the game, right? But that backup quarterback shows the fuck out, right? So now I've learned that there's all this value in this young man that he can step up, he can perform, but that still goes in the loss column. So I can lose and learn something valuable to apply to the next lesson.
I mean, that goes in the loss column. Like there's scenarios where,
and I just think it's important, like, because I'm big on accountability and standing on your decisions. And a part of standing on your decision is acknowledging and taking accountability when it was the wrong decision. even
Well,
if it felt right in the moment.
I say that
Like
once
I'm
again,
me despite that.
I'm fine with I'm 100% with the accountability. You have to take accountability because that's the only time you can grow. That's the only time you can progress if you are accountable, holding yourself accountable. But I'm not gonna hold myself accountable and say that was a wrong decision. I'm gonna hold myself accountable and say there was a better decision, or there's a decision that possibly could have put me in a better, gave me a better outcome, right? But to sit here and say that was the wrong decision, nah. And unless I jump in somebody else's body or somebody else jump in my body and stop thinking about shit and start shotgunning shit and not really think about what if the shit make me feel good, the shit got me the results I wanted at that moment, and it may not have because most shit in my life don't play out in the way that I thought it was gonna play out.
Same.
So I've just come to accept like a lot of shit probably ain't gonna play out the way I thought it would, but I'm gonna still be up at the end of it.
100%. I agree
So
with that.
that with that mindset, that's why I'm like, bro, there I haven't made a I may have made the the I don't know. I may have made not the best decision, but I don't think my decision was wrong because it made me happy at that moment, or it got me what I wanted at that moment, or fulfill whatever selfish need or desire, or it made me and the people around me have like which
Here's my thing.
sometimes that's all you got.
A lot of times when you make a decision about something, you have multiple decisions that you could have made, and you choose one. In that moment, you're admitting that there are wrong decisions because otherwise, why was this one more appealing than that one? Like, why did you go this way instead of that way? Well, because you felt this was the right decision and this was the wrong decision.
Right.
Right. So, just by that very process of ranking decisions, you've admitted that there are wrong decisions.
Yeah, right. But I just ain't made them.
See,
that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you. There are wrong decisions, but I determine what the right and the wrong decision is. Because for me, because depending on the scenario, the right and the wrong decision, most of the time is gonna be whatever fucking benefits me. For the most part, yeah, everything. Matter of fact, not most, everything benefits me from a sense of self fulfillment because I made you happy or because I gave you something like. That's why. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm not even. Yeah. But everything I do and every decision I make, I benefit from it in some way, shape, or form. Whether it makes me feel better,
I think that's 100% true.
Yeah, so it's that's how I determine what the fuck the right is. I'm not gonna do, bruh. I'm never gonna do anything that doesn't give me fulfillment. That's the wrong. That's the answer to your question. That's the wrong decision. That's the wrong decision for me. If it does not benefit me in some way, shape, or form. That's it right there. That's the wrong decision for me.
I think all that shit can be true. And you can make wrong decisions. And those wrong decisions can benefit you in some way, shape, or form.
Right,
I don't ever like
the right decision.
I just
it might not have been the best decision, but it's the right one.
Well, I think we found another fundamental difference, right? Because
that's hilarious.
I just like I don't. That blows my mind. Like no, like nothing. You've never done anything wrong ever,
bro. I've never made the wrong decision. I've done some things wrong in other people's eyes, but like I said, bro, at what point? At the end of the
so
day,
if you make a decision
at the end
that
of the day,
hurts somebody,
yeah,
that you care about,
yeah,
still the right decision
for me, yes. Because, bro, this is the thing. When it comes to people that you care about or that care about you, sometimes, not even sometimes, a lot of times, they get their emotions wrapped up into some shit that has no validity on your guys' interaction. Like if you actually look at it from always what objective, look at it from an objective view and take it and remove the emotions because that's what a lot of it's about is emotion. Remove the emotion. That decision in which that person made has no fucking bearing on who you are and your guys' relationship and your guys' interaction. But also, too, there's another part of it. Sometimes motherfuckers in your life that you care about and that care about you are so goddamn stubborn and so blinded by the amount of emotion that if I tell you something, sometimes like so for our relationship, we don't have this problem. You can look me in my eyes and check me. I can look in your eyes and check you. Sometimes people have so much emotion in their relationship that they can't do that. There's some homeboys that can't check their other homeboy because shit'll go south because there's so much emotion and love right there. So sometimes that's why another motherfucker outside of the group can say some shit and it's like, damn, that makes sense. Bitch, I've been saying that shit to you for fucking 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because there's a lack of emotion. So sometimes, bro, it take a motherfucker to get kicked in the nuts to remove that emotion and look at something from an objective point of view. So it's like it's twofold. Like, yeah, you never really, I don't think most people's intentions aren't to hurt somebody that they care about or care about them, but sometimes that's just a fucking byproduct of it. That's why I say it may not. I don't think it's the wrong because there's one side of it. Like, were you satisfied and they were hurt? Okay, then it still was a a good decision for you. It may not have been a good decision for them. And then that's why I say it's not the best decision because in best case scenario, both sides get the message and both sides are fulfilled. You get your fulfillment and they get their fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never good to hurt somebody that you fuck with. But it is what it is sometimes. That's just a part of it. And then sometimes it's just inevitable. Like sometimes you're gonna do some shit that I don't like and that I don't fuck with, and it kind of is what it is. You build a bridge, get over that shit. But if you do something to me that fucks with me in that moment, but it makes me learn a lesson that you've been fucking trying to get through to me about, then because at that point, because also there's accountability on the other side too. If I would have fucking listened, so like for instance, like if we go out all the time and I want to get in bar fights and get drunk and shit, and I just expect you to drag me home and drive me home, take care of my grown ass, and you keep telling me, send me down, like bro, you need to stop doing that shit. You putting us in a bad way, blah blah blah, da da da, and I keep not listening, blowing that shit off, and you get to a point where you knock my ass out in the club and leave my ass stranded. Yeah, that hurts me because now I'm left ass out by myself. It satisfies you because you got to finally knock my ass out and not have to take me home and take care of me. But then also it give me that lesson like, damn, maybe Bruce is really fed up with my shit.
Right. But by your logic, every poor decision you made up until that point was the right decision. Every bar fight you gotten into, every time I've had to drag you home. By your logic, that's still the right decision, even though it resulted in me knocking your ass out.
Yeah.
The right decision would have been to take on the lesson prior to that.
The better decision would have been to take on a lesson. It was still a good decision to get drunk and get in a fight.
No. See, you don't even believe that. All right, man.
Tell you, bro, that shit's fact, bro. That shit is.